Yeah, can I do a quick vox pop with you?
I'm Jeni Tennison, I'm CEO for the Open Data Institute.
So here at the first day of DataMash, what's your kind of feeling of how today's gone and like the value that it's had, if any?
I think it's really interesting because I'm used to hanging out with data people, and we have the same conversations all the time. What it feels like we have the same conversations all the time. What's been really good in the conversations that I've seen here is it seems to be people that are a bit outside that field, or who only touch on data as part of their day-to-day jobs, and that means that there's a good exchange of ideas, and it's a good learning opportunity, hopefully for them, but also that we see the kinds of challenges that people are really experiencing rather than just the ones that we make up.
Do you think there's any value in perhaps at a future event like this of running more actual hands-on workshops?
Yeah, I do think that there's a real value in getting people to, like you say, actually get hands-on with some tools and see that it's not rocket science. I think that having an environment where you can kind of safe environment where you can ask questions but still be doing something that's quite useful, and you can do that in an hour, right? You can do just a little workshop on how to publish data on GitHub. That's easy within an hour, and it just, I think, would break down some of the fears that people have that are really unfounded, just because they don't have the experience that they could have.
How does DEFRA and wider government keep up the good work that's been done in data, and how do we kind of make sure that the stuff that's been done is right?
I think that one of the things that's really frustrating, and we see this coming through in the Open Data Barometer a bit, is is where data has been published as open data, but say a number of years ago is not being updated, and that is driven because it's not being used. I think that concentrating on that use, understanding the way in which data is used, and capturing it, in most. One of the things that you can do is if you turn off the supply of data, then you find out who is really relying on it, right? I don't suggest that you do that really, but sometimes I think we don't recognise where data is being used and where it's being useful, and which data sets are really, really worthwhile keeping up to date. And so working that out and concentrating on use and concentrating on driving use, and I don't just mean outside government, I mean internally as well, whether it's across the DEFRA group, for example, driving that use so that you then drive up data quality, you drive up the access to that data. It makes that data more worthwhile. It makes all of the effort that's gone into making it open more worthwhile when you can see that it really is being used.
And I guess the only way to find out if it's being used is we ask people to tell us, maybe?
Ask people to tell you, but also I think that the other direction that you can come at it from is to say, well, what is it that we really want to see happen in the world, and what data should we be putting out in order to see that happen? So, and talking to stakeholders about what data they need in order to see that change. So it's not just about asking. I think it's about going and concretely asking people, but also thinking of engaging them not in a general conversation about what data is useful, but for doing this, what would be useful and how can we get it to you easily.
And I guess maybe even telling people what your aspiration is while putting that data out as well, just so people are clear. And that can also be, like I was talking about, around actually promoting innovation with that data, actually doing some challenges or something that helps to raise the profile of data, but also to achieve some output that's going to be good for everybody. Great. Thanks so much for your time, Jenny. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Stefan.
Thank you.